Hello everyone! Today I'm going to attempt to make a raw vegan cheesecake. Now, I've never done that before, and in fact I've never even made a cheesecake before. But over the past several months I've been, changing up my diet. I've been eating a lot more healthy, and that includes a lot of green smoothies, more fruits and vegetables. And as anyone who probably starts eating better, and you invest in a good high-powered blender, and you do your research, you start to look at all the other elements of what you're putting into your body and start to wonder what actually is the best diet for me. So that is all leading me to think that perhaps I should become a vegetarian, maybe a vegan, or perhaps even the ultimate, a raw vegan. Now, of course, one of the big hindrances to people wanting to embrace a raw lifestyle or even a vegan lifestyle or vegetarian is the fact that you're worried that the food is not going to taste as good as what you're used to. So if the food doesn't taste good, you're probably going to say, forget it, just going to stick to my standard diet, that's it. So I'm going to set out to see if eating something raw vegan, a dessert, will taste as good as any other dessert that I've ever enjoyed in my life. And I'm really hoping that it will. And because if it does, that's going to help me probably take that next step to changing my whole lifestyle when it comes to food and be really excited that there's great, delicious food I can do that with. So hopefully that's the case. And I'm doing this for the first time, and you guys are along with me for the journey. So stay tuned. Now what I'm going to use for the crust is 1 cup of raw walnuts, 1 cup of raw almonds, and I'm using 1/2 cup of dates that I've been soaking, and I've got a mixture of medjool dates and some other Algerian dates that I have. And I'm also going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So I'm going to put all of that into the blender, and that's how I'm going to try to process this because I don't have a food processor, and let's see how the crust turns out. Okay, I have all the ingredients in the Oster Versa Blender, and I'm just going to try to put it on low to crumble it up. I've never done this before. I'm going to use the plunger. Okay, so I've discovered that it was a little harder to make in the blender, at least with this base, than I expected. I think if I had stuck with just walnuts, it would have crushed fine. So I do have a small little food processor that I'm going to try to use. The almonds don't seem to want to get crushed, so I'll just keep mixing this up until it's ready. Okay, so you need to blend it until it's a sticky consistency, and this is definitely a sticky consistency, and I have to tell you, this is delicious. I could eat this alone. I'm glad some is on my fingers because I get to eat it off of my finger. It's really good. Alright, stay tuned for the next step. Okay, so far my stovetop is a bit messy, but I am going to be making a crust in a pan I have here. I do have a springform pan, but I'm just going to try it in this. Hopefully it will help me to make the sides a little more easily. Now also, you might see some chunks in there. That's the almonds. So I really do think if I try this again, which I'm certain I will, because so far I could just eat the crust all day, I will use all almonds. All walnuts. The walnuts seem to definitely have a better crumbly consistency. So I'm just going to form this into my crust, and then the next step I'll get back to. So now I'm going to make the filling, the cheese part of our vegan cheesecake, and I have 2 cups of raw cashews that I've been soaking for about 7 hours. I have a 1/2 cup of coconut sugar, I'm going to use almond extract as opposed to vanilla extract, and I have 3/4 of a cup of coconut oil in this bowl, and I have a quarter cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. I'm going to put all of that in the blender, so stay tuned for that step. Okay, so I have all of the items in the blender. Oh, I did forget the almonds. There we go. What am I putting in of the almond? I'm putting a teaspoon of almond extract. So it's probably a little more than a teaspoon. Just half a tablespoon. There we go. And now we're going to blend it. Okay, it's now blended, and I'm going to put the batter for the cheese into the pie crust. I did have to use the tamper to help that go down. And let's just fix the camera so you can see this. Okay, so it's a nice thick consistency, and the coconut sugar gave it a little more of a browner color as opposed to the lighter color of the cashews. I'm just going to get all of that out and put it right into my dish. Okay, so that's what my pie looks like so far with the cheese layer put in there, and now I'm going to put it in the freezer, I think for about an hour, and I'm also going to work on making the dressing, the topping, which is going to be a strawberry topping, so I'm going to work on that while that's freezing. Okay, now for my topping. I'm going to take, this is about, I don't know, half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of fresh strawberries. I'm going to wash them. I'm going to also use a medjool date, and I'm going to put this in the mixture, the remaining cashew mixture, because there's a little bit left and it tastes nice and it's a thick consistency. So I hope it's going to help make the topping even thicker. So I'm going to work on that now and see you in a minute. Okay, I have just whipped up those strawberries with the remnants of the cashew mixture, and that's what it looks like. And I have to tell you, that tastes amazing. So I'm going to let the mixture in the fridge set for, I don't know, maybe another half an hour before I actually put that on. Just give that a chance to firm up a bit more. All right, be back soon. Okay, I have given my cheesecake a chance to set in the freezer. It's just been about 40 minutes. And now I'm going to put the strawberry mixture on there. And I have to tell you, it's so good. I just let my daughter taste it and she said, delicious! So that's what it looks like. Whatever's left, I'm just gonna enjoy. It's so good, actually. Who knew? So I'm just gonna spread that over the top. Okay, just like that. Try to get every part of that. And once I'm done, it's just gonna go right back in the freezer. And I'm probably going to leave it there for at least another hour and a half, I'd say, because it's been in there for 40 minutes. And an hour and a half hopefully will make it be perfectly set, because I want to try this tonight. I do not want to wait until tomorrow. Okay, so here is the finished product. Now I've had it out of the freezer for about 40 minutes, It was very hard coming out of the freezer, as you can expect. The top is a bit soft there now, as you can see. I'm just going to garnish it with some strawberries and raspberries. I don't have enough to put it all around, but you know, do what you like with it. Make it look pretty. I think I'll put a raspberry right in the middle. And the big test afterwards, of course, is going to be the taste test. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, it's time to cut. And I certainly hope I left it in the freezer long enough. Feeling nice and firm. So excited! And oh, it feels definitely very firm. 1 second, let me get something different to pop that out with. Let's hope I don't break it. Maybe I should have made the slice a little bigger. Okay. You know what I am gonna make? I'm gonna do a bigger piece because I'll split this with me and my daughter in any case. Now that's not an even piece right there, but it's just for us. Martha Stewart isn't judging this. There you go. Ooh, it looks good. So excited. Now it's time to dig in. Amazing. Look at that consistency right there.